people going out getting proper help and getting what they need. A lot of us, man, y'all just listen to me and just hear my heart. And I know y'all might see a lot of my little videos and stuff on our Facebook and stuff like that. And it seems like I got this happy little perfect life or whatever. I'm on stage performing. I got my little 3-year-old grandson or whatever, man. A lot of times, man, you can see a public success and a private mess. I want to recommend to everybody to do yourself a favor, to go and get therapy. Everybody done went through something, and there has been a stigma in the black community that you go into therapy or counseling, people will perceive you to be crazy. If you don't go and sit down and talk to somebody and get somebody to help you deal with that trauma, man, you I don't care how successful you are, you're not doing yourself a favor by not going and getting help. Help is out there. A lot of times, man, the generation before us always said, well, you need to just give it all over to the Lord. Well, God created colleges, and colleges created counselors, and counselors created better people that had sense enough to go and get the help that they need. Because just if your knee hurting, you're going to go to the doctor, right?
Yep.
If your toe hurting, you're going to go to the doctor. If you do something, if your rotator cuff, your rotator cuff mess up in your shoulders or whatever, you going to the doctor for it. But why you can't go to the doctor, there's something wrong with your mind. The brain is only a muscle. You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all done grew up, man. Your mama died when you was 12 years old. A lot of y'all been molested, abused, mistreated, abandoned, denied, talked about, kicked out of family, the black sheep in the family, bullied at school. You could be a grown 30 in your 30s and just you being bullied at school or whatever can have an effect on your adulthood. And like people don't like something is off, which might be off with you or wrong with you. You might be going through depression. Don't nobody know how to deal with death. And your mama ain't never died before. She died. She passed away. And my granddad ain't never died before. So I know how to deal with that. I'm telling you, do yourself a favor. Go and sit down and talk to somebody and get therapy. Find you a counselor that you comfortable with. And I'll tell you right now, me and my family, we go to Strive Counseling. It's in Birmingham. She a Sarah. Everybody got different issues. It ain't like we going as a family. Everybody going for their own personal issues. I got a nephew that's traumatized. Daddy been dead 14 years. And you would think, sitting down talking to him, you would think his daddy died yesterday. You had to go get him some help and stuff and to get mistreated and go through all of this kind of stuff. And then I'm telling y'all, man, if you do not resolve some of these issues or whatever, you just can't church it all. You can't go to Sunday school ain't gonna help you with this. The word give you encouragement and different things that these wonderful, awesome ministers teaching us. That's all of that's fine. But I mean, you got to really go and sit down and get some therapy and talk to somebody where you can get a full understanding as to what's going on with you. It does not mean that you crazy because you go to counseling. You crazy if you know that there's counseling available and don't go. That's when something's wrong with you. And I'm telling you, man, it's a hard day for me. I'm really distracted this morning because I'm really going through some stuff. I really went through some stuff last night. You know what I'm saying? I got to deal with older kids. I got to deal with, trying to keep a straight, happy face for a 3-year-old grandson that's in the house and dealing with stuff and then trying to perform and getting ready for a move to a whole, to changes and these tours and stuff coming up. I can't even, man, I get so overwhelmed. And then you go on your Facebook page, you got all these messages in there. Everybody wants something, needs something. Nobody asks you how you doing, and everybody, hey, I got this going on. Can you help with this? Can you help with that? You just get overwhelmed. And sometimes, man, that'll make your mind go crazy because I just don't like clutter. I like everything spread out where I can deal with stuff at one time. And sometimes people and things can be a little bit too much. You know what I'm saying? You know, trying to figure out people and have to sit down and talk to somebody and get all of that stuff out of my system so you won't be angry. It's natural. It's natural to be angry. It's natural to get frustrated. That don't mean that nothing is wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure if all of us sat on the island with one person that we love and get along with, and the sun came up every day and you had a sunset every evening, life would definitely be perfect, but that's not our reality. That's not the way life is. You come in contact with bad people. You come in contact with people that's pretentious. You come in contact with death. You come in contact with having to go down to the funeral home and having to pick out a casket and go through the process and then figure out where you're going to eat dinner at on a Sunday because your grandmama died. You don't know how to deal with that. You ain't never been through that before. And I'm telling y'all, do yourself a favor. Just where you won't go crazy, just where you can be insane and have some sense and understanding as to what's going on with you, go and sit down and talk to someone. You've been mistreated your whole life. You on the defense at work. She got a bad attitude. Might not necessarily mean your attitude bad. You just got trauma. You done grew up fighting your mama your whole life. You done grew up fighting one of your uncles or fighting your daddy your whole life. You traumatized, so you real defensive if anybody say something to you. Now ain't nobody gonna ever mistreat me like that again, but you never will. And I'm telling y'all something. The generation before us, they don't know nothing, a whole lot about this, what I'm talking about right now, because their thing is, a lot of older generation have mistreated a lot of folks and did a lot of things wrong, and then they get 60 and 70 and think they finna die, and they go and give their life over to God, and they try to God and Jesus everything. But nobody sit down and get proper therapy and get your issues resolved. It's not your fault. Nobody had no business putting their hands on you. Nobody had, you weren't prepared for death. You ain't never been through that before. And some of y'all have been through it a few times and lost a whole lot of folks. And you feel like the sun ain't even the same color. Like you can't shake yourself from depression. Some of y'all are dealing with illness in your body and going through all of that stuff and all these different pain medications and you just don't have nobody to talk to. You can't talk to somebody that don't know nothing about anything and is not properly trained to give you therapy. You can vent, but that don't mean that's the person you're talking to going to give you the best advice if they're not qualified to deal with stuff like that. So your best friend might not give you the best advice. Go and sit down like I do and go down to Strive or whoever counselor or whatever or whoever you can find or whatever that's a qualified counselor, qualified therapist, and sit down and talk to somebody. And before you do family and group, do self first. Get yourself together first. And then go and do group therapy. Because if you getting real mad at your mama or one of your uncles or whatever, and all of a sudden you're like, dang, why did you go from 0 to 10? Because the first issue never been resolved. That's why you went from 0 to 10. You got real mad because your uncle or your mama violated you or your daddy violated you, but the first issue never got resolved. Nobody ever apologized to you. You never sat down and had therapy or whatever. And now you angry if anybody violates you. It don't even have to be one of them. It could be one of your friends. Like, why are you so angry? That don't mean that you're a bad person. You just got trauma. And most of us have it. So let's do something about it. Let's have a real conversation. Let's break the generational curse of going to therapy is something bad or something is wrong with you. Go and sit your butt down and talk to someone and get the help and give yourself the best gift you can ever give to yourself is getting therapy and sitting down and having a conversation with somebody that can help you process everything that you've been through and everything that you're going through. They help you have a better, healthy, mental health, because I don't care how much money you make. Money don't mean nothing, because once you done bought you a house and a car, it ain't enough shopping on this earth that's going to cover up them rolling Big Mama out of that church. You understand what I'm saying? And that's real talk. Go and sit down and talk to somebody and get the therapy that you need. I just thank God for counselors. I thank God for psychologists. I thank God for all therapists Let me tell you, I'll keep it real with you. Therapists have therapy. Therapists go to therapy. Got a little cousin that's a therapist, and she go to therapy. She got her own counselor. She sit and listen to everybody else's problems, and then she go and sit down by herself with her therapist. You understand what I'm saying? So make sure you do that, and whatever weighing on your heart today, on your heart this morning, or whatever, there is help out there, and go and get the help that you need and that you deserve. You didn't ask for this stuff, and you didn't ask for this trauma. You didn't ask to be born. It's not your fault. Go and get the help you need, and God bless you. God bless your family. Pray for my family, because when I get off today, I really got to deal with some stuff today. Like I got a lot. Like I had a tough conversation last night with a family member that just got me so distracted this morning I can't even think straight. But you know what I'm saying? God is good, and God is still in the blessing business, and I'm doing the right thing, making the right moves, and we're going to get it figured out. We just got to man up and step up to the plate and do what you need to do. And that's what we're doing this morning when I get off. It is what it is. Life ain't perfect. All right, so make sure you go down there, get on the phone, call somebody, Google somebody in your area, find somebody you comfortable with, and sit down and get the help that you need so your mind can be right. I'd rather for my body to hurt, but my mind be right, than for to have a perfect body and my mind is not right. A lot of people committing suicide. Suicide rate is high. Anger is high. It's up there. Go and get the therapy. Get what you need, just where you can have a clear mind. You can deal with body pain, but a clear mind, I'm talking about you feel like you're free. Depression is real, and it's sad, and it's hurtful, or whatever. Some people rather be dead than deal with depression. All right? So do that. And Gary got the tea and the clue today. I'll be praying for you, and pray for me and my family, and I'll be praying for you as well. Gary got the tea and the clue today. Coming up next, Rick's Smiley Morning Show.